The top stories. Private sector questions credibility of government's economic program. Grammy-Award winning trumpeter coming to Barbados for a new music festival. And Ottis Gibson says he was fired. Welcome to Nation News for Thursday, October the 23rd, 2014.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. Your time, your way.
The private sector's lack of confidence in government's economic program has been further exposed by a new statement from the Chamber of Commerce. On Wednesday, the Private Sector Association, with groups, the Chamber and 9 other business groups, expressed concern about the rate of economic recovery and said many questions remain unanswered in light of this week's report from the central bank. A day later, the Chamber of Commerce has weighed in on its own, saying the enthusiasm for future growth shown by Governor Delal Warrell is not being borne out by economic activity and employment levels. The Chamber's Executive Director, Lisa Gale, said members were suffering from the effects of restricted cash flows and the official average unemployment rate of 13.2% was not telling the full story. The Employers' Confederation has already questioned those figures. Efforts are on to fully study the contribution of the services sector to the economy. Executive Director of the Barbados Coalition of Service Industries, Lisa Cummins, puts the sector's portion of national output at more than 70%, but she concedes that more data is needed. She has therefore called on businesses to cooperate with the agency and the central bank in their search for definitive evidence. Ms. Cummins was speaking ahead of National Services Week next month. Services is that part of the economy that produces intangible goods, such as tourism, of course, but also including areas such as transportation, entertainment, and healthcare. Bridgetown is getting a facelift ahead of next month's Remembrance Day parade and independence activities. Workers have been sprucing up Heroes Square, power washing the area, and prepping the Cenotaph's wrought iron fence for a paint job. The work, which began on Wednesday, is expected to continue for another 5 days. Police are investigating 2 incidents involving firearms in Spruce Street off Nelson Street on Wednesday. Resident Deandra Ambrose said 2 armed men entered her home after 1 p.m. in search of a man. She was outraged when they put a gun to the chest of her teenage son. There were also reports of gunfire in the district, with one resident telling Nation News that 8 armed men were involved in a noisy argument with another man. It is going to get easier to fly to Guyana. From December, LIAD will add 3 flights per week between Barbados and Guyana, bringing the total number of weekly flights to 10. Grammy-Award winning trumpeter and composer Irving Mayfield will be one of the headliners at the newest event on the cultural calendar, the Classical Pops Festival in December, a blend of classical and pop standards by a big band. Promoter Michael Aiken is promising that the event will be a world-class show featuring a 65-man all-star orchestra and Barbadian entertainer Alison Hines, among others. It will be held at the Apes Hill Club in St. James. The event is aimed at boosting tourist numbers while at the same time exposing Barbadians to another aspect of the arts. In sport, former West Indies coach Ottis Gibson has accused Regional Board President Dave Cameron of sacking him in a telephone call. According to a published report, the Barbadian rejected the then WICB statement that the 2 sides mutually agreed to end their association. The announcement of Gibson's departure came on the eve of the one-day international series with Bangladesh. According to the report, Gibson said that Cameron told him that players had lost confidence in him. 8 of Barbados' brightest table tennis prospects will take in the World Cadet Challenge, which serves off here on Sunday. 64 competitors aged under 15 will take part in the tournament. Tyrese Knight leads the Barbados Challenge among the boys and Kennedy King among the girls. The Barbados players have been training for the past 6 weeks under a number of international coaches. President of the Table Tennis Association, Ray Jackman, has high hopes for the event.
For the first time in over 20 or more years, we will have a level you see a level of table tennis displayed by youngsters that has been unparalleled. And what will be particularly very interesting as well will be for many children, especially the schools, to actually come and see what children who are their ages can produce in terms of the level of talent that comes from them. Quite a matter of being dedicated, a matter of putting the maximum effort to ensure that they are at the very top of their game. And I think it will be a very exciting time for everyone.
And finally, a British man pulled 14 cars a distance of 18 feet and 2 inches to break a world record and raise money for a cancer charity. 42-year-old Simon Plant pulled a rope attached to 14 Ford Fiestas at Motor Point in Derby in England on Wednesday and moved the line of cars 18 feet and 2 inches to break the world record of pulling 12 cars a distance of 15 feet. The cars had a combined weight of about 22 tons. Mr. Plant said the pull was his third attempt at the world record. Do not try that at home. That's Nation News for Thursday. For more, visit nationnews.com as well as YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. And you can subscribe to our e-paper or get your Weekend Nation at newsstands on Friday.